We have an interesting but unfortunate story about a man passing away. An Oregon police officer left a dying man in a patrol car to watch TikToks and sext his lover as the handcuffed man's temperature rose to 107 degrees. Like, I understand, but you on the job. And especially when you're dealing with somebody that you're supposed to be watching over in any type of capacity, like, damn, brother, you can't wait till you get home? I guess not. I guess not. The federal lawsuit alleges that the officer left a handcuffed man suffering a fatal overdose in the back of a patrol car and proceeded to go inside a police station to scroll TikTok and send intimate text messages. Atlanta Black Star reports the family of Nathan Bradford Smith filed a wrongful death lawsuit accusing police in Coos Bay, Oregon, rather, of negligence, abuse of a vulnerable person, and deliberate indifference. Smith suffered a methamphetamine overdose during a 2024 arrest and lost consciousness in the back of a police car. After he was placed in the back of a police car, he was seen breathing and panting heavily and slumping over in the back seat. And you would think, that that would catch your attention, that might make you want to at least be on it. Hey, we might need some paramedics. I might need to drop him off to a hospital. Then you can get to the sexting. Then you can get to the intimate text messages. But it's just that draw was so powerful. I mean, if you got an itch that you got to scratch, I guess you just could not wait, again. But it's really unfortunate though, because it's rather silly that you couldn't wait for this while someone's panting in your back seat. Like, come on, man. It only took police 3 minutes to drive to the police station, but after arriving, an officer left Smith alone in the car and went inside, where he watched videos on TikTok and replied to texts. One message he sent read, quote, I'm so ready for oh God. I'm so ready for snuggles. I feel like I haven't seen you in a week. Oh, my man ain't even talk. He not even getting nasty. He talking about snuggles. I'm ready to cuddle with you. Like, dang, man, it's not like, oh my God, let me not make too many jokes out of this because a man passed away. The officer also allegedly turned his body camera around to hide whatever he did next on the phone. Smith was left inside the car unattended for 8 minutes. When the officer finally returned, he found Smith unconscious. After failing to rouse him, he grabbed a Narcan dose from his trunk and administered it to Smith, then called for an ambulance, according to the state police report. When paramedics arrived, they discovered Smith's body temperature was 107.3 degrees. Yeah, that's everything's frying at that temperature. They rushed him to the hospital, where he went into cardiac arrest and died. A total of 40 minutes elapsed between the time Smith was arrested and the time he went into cardiac arrest. See now how quickly that happened. That was really fast. But again, it just goes to show what his mind was on this whole time. Like, even before he picked up this gentleman, his mind was dead set on the P. That's what he was thinking about. That's all he had on his mind. And it wasn't even like, and I bring that up too to say, like, it's not like this was a slow death. Like, he was in the back seat for hours, 40 minutes. So it was intense. There was no escaping the fact that you heard this dude breathing, panting, and you still in the mood. Nah, man, nah. Doctors listed the cause of death as hyperthermia due to methamphetamine intoxication and probable exogenous contribution from wearing multiple layers of heavy clothing. Quote, when these officers found him, he was clearly showing the signs of medical distress. And what we know when we finally did get to see a doctor is that his temperature was 107. He was hyperthermic and he was going to die. And unfortunately, he did. Lead attorney Juan Chavez with the Oregon Justice Resource Center told KGW. There was a 40-minute delay in getting him critical medical assistance. It was the officer's second encounter with Smith that day. Police told state investigators they decided to arrest Smith at the Motel 6 due to his violent tendencies from previous encounters. In a written statement, the cop who drove Smith to the police station said he left Smith in the car to call another officer due to it being a shift change. And he also wanted to ask a sergeant whether he needed to write a probable cause affidavit to charge Smith with having another person's wallet. The officer added that he left the patrol car on with the air conditioning running and that the back windows remained up because they weren't working correctly. Oh, well, how convenient. Smith's father told the Oregonian newspaper that police told him his son died but failed to share the circumstances of the death. He didn't learn the cause of death until he visited the funeral home. Quote, he didn't deserve to just be left to die. The complaint seeks unspecified damages and alleges the officers were deliberately indifferent to Mr. Smith's serious medical need or otherwise serious risk of harm in not calling for medical attention or otherwise. And of course, no criminal charges were filed against any of the officers involved in Smith's arrest after state police concluded their investigation. So, Sharon, again, to me, I mean, I think what they've, the purposeful indifference, negligence, obvious. There's no reason why this should have happened in this sequence, whether it's because you're sexting your mistress or whatever's going on. There's no excuse why this man should not have been taken to the hospital. I mean, I've seen instances of people who were clearly out of their minds on some drug, I don't know, methamphetamine, in the middle of the street, like doing all types of stuff. Police come, fire trucks come, an ambulance comes, and they're escorted into the ambulance. So pretty much every city has stipulations and protocol for these types of instances. So a man passed away, and some people might say, oh, well, he was a drug addict and he was causing trouble, so who cares? I guess that would be your argument. Who cares? But the bottom line is that police are supposed to serve the public, and clearly instance after instance shows that these really aren't necessarily the people that we can trust with that.
Yeah, I think police too often, maybe all the time, prioritize how they serve and protect the public. And that's not always a bad thing. But in this instance, I believe that if his canine dog, this officer, was in the back and the windows weren't working, he would have grabbed him, would have got him out of there. But come on, come inside, get some cool air with me while I sex. And by the way, the sexting to me maybe is a problem. I would think if you can't leave it alone, like you said, for
An
this
hour?
short window, okay,
Right.
you gotta right there. You have a problem, but I firmly believe this is about indifference to a human being because I don't know that he saw this. I'll put it in quotes, throwaway drug kid as worthy of help.
Yeah.
And that's sad because if you have an issue, or perhaps it was your first time, life is meant to be lived and people make mistakes, and never mind all that. Just do your job instead of making judgments or sexting someone. The fact that no charges have been brought, or I guess what you're saying in this jurisdiction is that there's nothing to find out. I mean, they're allowed to sext on the job as the prisoner's in the back and just kind of chill out. So good to know in that jurisdiction that this is permitted. Otherwise, I don't know why it wouldn't be acted upon. A kid is dead, and you didn't even have the dignity, the decency, the integrity to inform the family properly of what went down here. These are people who, unfortunately, too many are encountering every day.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, I mean, the sex thing honestly is kind of irrelevant to the fact that this person lost their life, whether it was sexting or anything else. The bottom line is there was negligence, there was indifference, and this kid's life was not valued whatsoever. I think the sexting just kind of makes the story a little more interesting, more of a headline grabber. You know what I'm saying? But what difference does it really make when someone's dead?